All right, we should be live now, guys. Welcome, happy Friday. We got a pretty exciting day today. We have, the NBA Top Shot stress test. I unfortunately did not hit in either the elite or the standard, but that is okay. We also have the NFL All Day drop, and that is in a couple hours. So that's an exciting one. The details in that are what you get one Pro Bowler from the NFC, one Pro Bowler from the AFC, and then one rookie. But they're not Pro Bowl moments. They're like moments from the regular season, which I think is a positive, right? Because I don't think anyone wanted, actual Pro Bowl moments because it was, again, basically like a flag football game. But as always, guys, we'll cover a few different things. We'll start with Top Shot, then we'll head over to Draftkings. We can finish it up with PrizePicks. But yeah, again, recapping the trade deadline yesterday. Obviously, some big moves, headlined by the Harden for Ben Simmons deal, basically. Which, as I said when it happened, as I say, saying right now, I still think it's a pretty good deal for both, assuming that Ben Simmons is good to go. And I saw, at least on Twitter, that Ben Simmons is going to travel with the team. So maybe there's even a chance he plays before the All-Star break. We'll see. But I think for sure he will be back after the All-Star break. So, because the Nets, they need to win games right now. They've lost like 10 in a row. So, they need Ben Simmons to play ASAP. And then also, the Porzingis one, I'm still not sure what the Mavericks are doing. Maybe they're just, very worried about the health of Porzingis, which I guess that's the only reason you would do that. Because Dinwiddie, Bertans for Porzingis, right? It's like, But yeah, let's talk about some of the games last night. So I wanted to start with Luka, obviously. So if you did not have Luka in DFS yesterday, you lost. So like it was. I checked like halfway through the first quarter and he had like already 20 points. And he finished with, I think it was 28 in the first quarter. Absolutely insane game from Luka Doncic. 50 points total, almost a triple-double. So let's take a look at Luka Doncic's moments. Again, he is the player that I am the most long in for Top Shot. Like I have a lot of Luka moments here. I have his All-Star. I have his metallic silver, the behind the back pass. I have his 3 in the bubble that I think is pretty undervalued. I have his Top Shot debut. So it's really nice to see Luka really turning the corner in the last 2 weeks to a month, because he started slow, right? Luka Doncic really did start slow. But we'll talk about game recognized game here in a sec. Let's go over to OTM and let's see if there's any movements on Luka's moments from last night's game. A lot of moments up today are from the Flash Challenge last night. So I don't think we have to look into a lot of those. But let's see. Again, I want to see if there's any movement here on Luka. So not a ton. I mean, his Top Shot debut is up a little bit over the last 7 days, but no real like huge swings from his big game last night. That's why I wanted to see if there are any big buys from that from his big game, but looks like nothing huge there. So okay, let's talk about this game recognized game, right? Because this, I believe, just ended. Yeah, ended at 2 Eastern, so just ended about 20 minutes ago. So the completions didn't really change. It was like a majority of people actually did bump up a little bit at the end there. So it went up to 6,400 completions. It was hovering, mid fives for a while. But yeah, let's take a look now at what those moments dropped to. So, right, because now the challenge has ended. So let's see where these are at. Okay, so not really a huge drop off, right? We saw the Steph Curry drop from 110 to 80. The Ja Morant was like $100. He dropped to 79. Ant-Man was in the 90s. He's down to 75. You had like Jokic, Mitchell, and Booker all hovering around 70. They all dropped to around 50. So not a huge drop, right? So we'll say like minus 20 on Mitchell, minus 20 on Jokic, minus 20 on Booker, minus 20 on Curry. We'll say everyone went down about $20. So that means the KD would have to be worth over $120 for it to be a profitable pack if you just bought all of them straight up. Now, me, again, I was lucky enough. I had 3 moments already. So I only had to buy a few. But yeah, I think, with, 6,000 completions, right? I'm thinking this KD's probably going to be around $200. I think it's a pretty fair guess because, again, I brought this up yesterday, but if you take a look at, let's just take a look at a couple of Series 3 base set sets. Let's just take a look at them, and let's take a look at the rewards. So you have the Kemba Walker. That's out of 5,000. That's going for $65. But yeah, so Lonzo Ball, he's out of 4,000, going for $400. Now that could be because he's technically the bottleneck in this. But yeah, $400 for Lonzo at 4,000, and the KD's out of 6,000. KD's obviously the better player of the two, and then you have Carmelo, who is not the bottleneck, right? He's out of 4,500, and that's going for $200. And then I wanted to take a look at the hustle and show because you had that Porzingis hovering around $200, and that was, I believe, a similar mint count. Yeah, so the Steph Curry's out of 8,500, and that's going for 170. Okay, so that's a pretty good comparison. So KD is $2,000 or 2,000 less mint count. So again, I'm thinking that's going to be 200, maybe 200 plus. The Porzingis is going for 200, and that's out of 7,500. Again, the KD's out of 6,400. So, and this is only drop 1. I don't know. I think that KD is probably going to push for $200. But I want to know what your thoughts are, guys, on this. Did you pull any of these? Did you complete the challenge? Didn't the All-Star packs just open? Yeah, they did a stress test with the Elite and with the Standard. Pretty glad you sold your Booker at 70. Yeah. If you weren't completing the challenge, then it made a ton of sense to sell, right? Because the moments are obviously going to go down. Coach, what's up, man? So yeah, again, we should get that KD reward probably later today. And then the other challenges going on, we have the Chris Middleton one, the easy one. I completed that one because I had all the moments. The hard one, again, you needed either a rare or legendary of either the first or the last person to make a free throw in each game. But that was not one I was willing to go for. Okay, so let's take a look at these 4 badge rookies. I know we took a look at them yesterday, but I want to see, are these still trending downwards with the Rising Star pack coming out soon? Obviously, we had the stress test today, but you're not going to be able to sell those moments yet until next week. I think the pack drop is. But all right, let's take a look at Top Shot debut. Again, it's the 4 Badgers. Let's see where these are at. Let's go high to low. Okay, yeah, so the Mobley's still holding pretty strong at 460. Again, I had to scoop that one for, I believe that was for the Luka, metallic silver. And I bought it for a little over $500. Again, I knew it would go down a little bit, but really not a huge downward push there. You have Barnes and Cade both in the mid 400s. Again, not a ton of movement there. Giddey's down a little bit, down to 328. He still has, opportunities to be in flash challenges, right, with Shea out until after the All-Star break. I believe did Kuminga end up in the challenge last night? I think he was one of the guys in the challenge last night. Jalen Green at 310, that feels like one that I'm okay not having. Let's see. Davion at 190. that seems like a decent buy, right? With no more Halliburton, he's going to have more opportunities. Let's see. Where's my boy Sengun and Yurt 7? Let's see. Okay, so Sengun about 140. Not a ton of movement there. Yurt 7 did drop to $90. I might be scooping more of those Yurt 7s, right? I know he didn't get traded. That was, potential to boom if he got traded. But the interesting thing I saw last night was Miami ran Yurt 7 a little bit alongside Bam, right? That is not something I had seen them really do at all this year. Now, he didn't play a ton. He played 6 minutes, but we at least saw him play a little bit alongside Bam, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if that's something they're going to continue, but hey, at least they're willing to give it a try, right? Play him alongside Bam. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. So Christopher at 87. For me, I would honestly rather have Josh Christopher at this price than Jalen Green. I don't think Jalen Green showed me enough to pay, over $300. Garuba's the cheapest. Kind of agree with that. Santi, Trey Murphy, Robinson Earl. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, the 4 Badgers are obviously down a little bit because, like we talked about, the Rising Star Pack's coming out soon. And they're all, a majority of these guys are going to have a second moment. So, the bottleneck for challenges won't be as strong. But, yeah, that's kind of where we're at for the rookies. So let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about for Top Shot? Trying to think, was there anything else I wanted to bring up here? Again, I completed the Middleton metallic silver. Let's take a look, actually. Let's take a look at these metallic silver moments. I know these are down a little bit recently. The downside of these metallic silver moments are collector score, right? The collector score boost is not great for these. But let's take a look at metallic silver. Curious where the Steph is at. And let's go high to low. Okay, so the Steph's still hovering around 3,500. The LaMelo's up a bit too to 3,500. Giannis is at 1,300. Again, Luka only 600. That feels a little bit too cheap for Luka. With a moment, sub 1,000, only going for $598. The Mobley at 210, Embiid at 195. Clay's at 179. That's down a little bit, but that's a really cool moment, right? His dunk, I have that one. I'm not trying to pump my bags, but I just think that's a really cool moment there. Suggs is only at 140. So, okay. And this Steph Curry is a moment I do want to own down the line. So I've been eyeing that one, right? His record-setting three-pointer. So maybe in the future, but that's behind a couple other purchases that I want to make. I've been eyeing the Ja Top Shot debut for a while now. So that's probably number 1 on my bucket list. What's up, DK? Ready for this NFL? Yeah, I'm excited for this NFL one. I'm really, really excited for it. It's in an hour and a half, right? That's one's dropping. So yeah, I can't wait for it. I think people will buy multiples of the reward and hold a set. I really see it possibly pushing 300. Yeah. Again, I think it's a good set. I think it's my favorite S3 set so far. I prefer it to the Hustle and Show and to the Fresh Threads. KD scene starts like 580 and it's 6,500-ish mint. Right. Now, again, the collector score boost in Series 2 is obviously better than it is in Series 3. But, yeah. What's up, DK? Not related, but do you like Hydra for GPs for COD? Yeah, I think Hydra's a solid contrarian play. I'm really excited for Call of Duty. We got those matches starting in about 30 minutes. There's a little bit of overlay too, from what I saw for Call of Duty today. Yeah, about 1,000 out of 1,400 now in the big tournament. So maybe I'll enter a couple more in that one, but I'm excited to watch these COD matches. They paused the line again for the All-Star packs. Well, I wasn't even, it was 5,000. Again, I was like 14,000. So yeah, lines paused. It might be done though. Because I know if you had a certain collector score, you could buy multiple packs. So they might just be out of packs. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of all I got for Top Shot. Again, let's pivot to NFL all day really quick. Don't have a lot to talk about, obviously, because we still have no marketplace for NFL all day. But I'll be in line for this pack drop. I have missed on the last two, unfortunately, but I was in for the first pack drop. Again, my first good moment, I think, was that Jerry Jeudy. I do have two Matthew Staffords, which I'm really excited for. I believe this is going to be his NFL All Day debut, 68 out of 8,000. I pulled a Tua, and then I also pulled this Stafford. I believe this is a playoff moment. Hold on, let me see this one. I think this is the playoff moment against the Cardinals. It's like a really, really long moment, though. It's like 5 plays in one. So I'm really even though I like the Bengals, like Joe Burrow, I gotta root for Stafford. Number one, because I'm a Lions fan, and I have to. Number two, I have 2 of his NFL All Day moments, and again, this is like a 45-second moment, right? It's like 5 different. I was watching this. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I think this is he just sneaks it in. I think that's the last one of it, but there was like 4 or 5 different plays. Yeah, so that's a very, very long moment. But okay. So yeah, I'm excited for the NFL All Day pack drop. Again, guys, if you are not in, you can get put on the wait list, and then they added a ton of people. Like I think we had over like 50,000 people last couple pack drops. So if you're still on the waiting list, you should get in soon. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to talk about, really, since there's no marketplace for NFL All Day. So let's talk about Draftkings now, guys. Again, recapping the slate last night, it went pretty well for me. In low stakes, very easily cashed in tournaments. In high stakes, I just missed because I didn't have Gary Trent, who literally made like 63s and had like 5 steals in the first quarter. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty solid night. I almost took down the showdown slate as well. I had CP3 captain with Giannis, Ayton, Portis, McGee, and Greg Monroe, who I was very high on for the showdown slate. And the winning lineup was the exact same, except they had Cam Johnson instead of McGee. So it was a 1v1 swap there. I think first place was like 13,000. I ended up winning like $50. So come close a couple times on those showdown slates. But yeah, it was a good night overall. Last 3 or 4 nights have been going really well for us. And it's been nice, right? There's been no... we did have Fox foul trouble a couple slates ago, but there's been no real injuries, no ejections, and we don't have that. It's usually going to be a pretty good night. Again, if you missed my YouTube video, this is the winning lineup in high stakes, which, not super surprised, right? They built a pretty chalky lineup. A lot of the Wizards value. They went to Gary Trent, Kyrie, and Luka were all popular, so not a super out there lineup that won in high stakes yesterday. But yeah, let's talk about this 7-game slate, guys. So happy to answer any questions. Do you think there will be, do you think they will do something for Seeing Stars holders? Yes. Yep, I do. I think this Rising Star pack, they haven't announced it yet, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get some either All-Star pack or some Rising Star packs. I would guess it's the Rising Star pack since there's a lot more of those, right? And All-Star is going to be rare. So, yes. I do think they're definitely going to do something for the Seeing Stars holders. Guys, again, if you do enjoy these streams, just make sure to hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Kleenex good captain for today. Excited for COD all weekend as well. Yeah. Kleenex makes for a good player. He's actually been the best player so far for Toronto Ultra this year. So, yeah, they're the biggest favorites. He's relatively cheap. So, I agree. I think the only downside there is he's going to be probably a popular captain play. But yeah, guys, so like Charlotte, once again, we're going to get like a 6-man rotation. There's no Ish Smith. Gordon Hayward's out. So like, don't know the status for sure on Montrez yet. But if he's out, like those main 6 guys are all going to play huge minutes. So they all look really good. On the Detroit side, like really hoping Cade plays. We saw that Kelly Olynyk was very popular last slate. I thought he's a solid GPP play, but I thought he's a little bit over-owned. We did see Luka Garza end of the rotation too, which is a little bit concerning. So I'm curious to see what the ownership is going to be on Kelly Olynyk for this slate, because last slate he was pretty popular. It was like 30 to 35% in higher stake stuff. So I wonder if that drops because of a subpar performance, and we didn't see a big minutes bump from him last game, even with the Isaiah Stewart foul trouble. Right, we saw massive foul trouble for Isaiah Stewart last game, and Kelly O still didn't get that big minutes bump because they went to that third center in a guy like Luka Garza. Now, Cleveland, we recently just got news that Garland is out. So now the question is, okay, are they going to start LeVert at the point? Or, do they move in do they want to keep LeVert off the bench and they move like a Goodwin in the starting lineup maybe? Or I don't think they start Rondo. We'll have to see. But yeah, Garland being out is pretty big for Cleveland. So I just need to keep an eye on that starting lineup. And obviously the bigs are guys we can look to as well. For the Pacers, again, there's a lot of teams that have question marks. I think the Pacers is the team that has the biggest question marks on this slate because it's like we have no idea who's playing. A lot of newcomers coming in. It's just like who knows what's going to happen. So really don't know what to say about Pacers yet because just so many question marks. We don't know who's starting. We don't know who's playing. We don't know if anyone's on a limit. Let's see. Do we have any news yet for the slate tonight? Chris ruled out for Saturday. Okay. Suggs plans to play. And then, yeah, Gobert game time decision. Cold on Draftkings last few weeks. Give me some motivation to play today's slate. Hey, man, you got it. Big win coming tonight on Friday. But no, seriously, if you're on a cold streak, what I recommend is I always play lighter if you're getting some bad luck. Now, the Thunder, again, I talked about this in my video, but, like, who is guarding Embiid, right? I know they didn't play Favors much last slate, but, like, he might just by default have to play a lot in this game. Can they really go Baisley against Embiid? Or can they go Pokusevski against Embiid? I don't know. And then the Philadelphia side, another team that has question marks, right? We know Harden's not playing. We don't know the status of Maxey Milton, but we could have some value here. Obviously, don't play Seth Curry and Drummond. They are no longer on the team. Denver, we need to keep an eye on who starts for Monte Morris, right? We could have some value there. On the Boston side, they could be pretty thin with guys traded away. Again, they traded away Schroeder. They traded away Enes Freedom. So, we'll keep an eye on some news on whether or not some of these guys get called up from the G League and whether or not like Derek White gets rolled in. But Boston's another team that could be thin. The Spurs-Hawks team obviously looks very appealing, right? A high total game. I think both the stars in this game looks good. And then, we'll keep an eye on the Spurs starting lineup for who starts for White. Minnesota, Chicago. I think there's going to be zero defense played in this one. A lot of question marks for Minnesota, but we saw basically those same guys questionable last game, and all of them played outside of Beverly. So we'll monitor it, but this is definitely a game I think you could stack up for tournaments. Vooch is probable. IO status is more up in the air. If Dosunmu does not play, obviously we can get to some of that Bulls value. And then the final game, Orlando and Utah. This game should be pretty low owned. There's some blowout risk, but the main guys like Cole and Wendell Carter Jr. I think are viable contrarian plays. And the Utah side, we might have Gobert back too. But if he misses, I think you could take a shot on Whiteside. And then, as I always say with Quinn Snyder, they're going to run these guys, even in a game that you think could blow out for Utah, the starters are still going to play pretty big minutes, right? Like, they don't pull the plug until, the very end, or they're up by, 30. So, obviously there's still a lot of question marks on the 7-gamer guys because a lot of teams, we don't know if those guys are recently traded are going to be available for today. We need to see starting lineups for some of these teams that, we haven't seen. Like for the Pacers, it's who knows who's going to start there. So that's kind of my quick rundown, guys. Do you have any questions for the DFS slate? Happy to answer any. Again, I think it's a pretty solid 7-gamer. We've had good size slates the last couple of weeks, right? It was 2 weeks ago, I think we had slates where it was a 13-game slate and then a 2-game slate and then a 12-game slate and a 3-game slate. But yeah, we've had good size slates. It's been 5 to 10 game slates for the last week and a half. So I have no complaints about that. But let me know if you guys have any questions. Let's see. Do we have any NFL all day? Is the queue open yet for NFL all day? Doesn't look like yet. So it says, again, 4 p.m. Eastern, says 3 p.m. Central. So I'm guessing the I'm guessing it's going to open in about 20 minutes here, the NFL All Day pack. Collins or Mobley or Love? Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good question. Again, with the Cleveland Bigs, like I like the matchup for them, but it's a little bit hard to try to figure out who it's going to be that has the really big day. So, like, considering prices, I might lean John Collins. For Atlanta, John Collins went on that like week to 2 week stretch where even competitive games he's only playing like 25 minutes. But over the last few games, 31 here against Phoenix, 34 against Toronto, 35 against Dallas. He only played 21 here. It was a blowout, and he got in foul trouble. So I think Collins is probably my favorite of that group there of Collins, Mobley, Love. But again, I do think the upside is there for sure with those Cleveland Bigs. And without Darius Garland, do they really get a boost? Not sure. I think it's just more playmaking for a guy like LeVert. Maybe get more run for those other guards in Rondo, and maybe Goodwin is back in the rotation as well. But okay, let's pivot over to PrizePicks. Let's see. Do we have anything? Let's refresh. We can take a look at the board. Again, I haven't basically my first time looking at the board, so we'll just do a first look. Would Poku get blowout run? Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pokusevski would be a guy that plays in the blowout for the Thunder. And obviously this game has blowout risk. Like he honestly might play some 5 today. He played 30 minutes last game. So I think Pokusevski is probably one of the safer targets on the board for the Thunder because I'm pretty sure he'll play decent minutes in a competitive game, and he will get a ton of run, in my opinion, in the blowout, which is definitely possible here against Philadelphia. So yeah, good question. I think he does play in the blowout. How do you think NFL All Day will roll out their marketplace? I'd like them to come out ASAP. I see them going live, and early Top Shot vibes maybe. I don't know exactly. Maybe after the Super Bowl. They open up the marketplace. But yeah, I wasn't in Top Shot at the very early days, but I'm pretty sure the marketplace. Correct. I'm pretty sure the marketplace was open when they first came out. So I would think again, we haven't got any definitive updates on the NFL All Day marketplace, but I would think that's going to come relatively soon. So excited to see what that looks like, right? With the pack drop prices, what's the marketplace going to look like? Again, I don't think Top Shot would be charging if these moments are not going to be worth it, like these $49 packs. So yeah, good question, and we'll see. So. Yeah, PrizePicks. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the fantasy points first. So, okay, like here's an interesting one, right? Because the Thunder Philadelphia game has some blowout risk, right? You have Embiid at 59 fantasy points. Like, if you think this game blows out, which I think is definitely possible, you could like take the under like on Embiid and pair him with Giddey, who is on that 30 minutes limit, right? For some reason, we know it's at least going to be in play for that minutes limit in play for this slate because he's had at least 2 games, and last game they limited him to about 30 minutes. So if you are kind of playing for a blowout, again, you can kind of pair guys together, right? In a game that blows out, just put a 2 entry in and take the unders on like 2 guys in a game that you think doesn't stay competitive, right? So I don't hate doing something like that. These Charlotte guys, I mean, if this game is competitive and it's like a 6-point spread, I mean, honestly, I kind of like the over in all 3 again in LaMelo, Rozier, and Bridges, right? They're all going to play like 40 minutes. And again, we basically like last game. So here, let's take a look at the rotations for the Hornets the last 2 games. So, where are the Hornets? Here we go. So two games ago against the Raptors, that was when Hayward got injured. Bridges played 42 minutes. Plumlee played 28. LaMelo played 44 minutes. Rozier played 41. Washington played 38 or 32. Oubre played 38, and Ish Smith played 8. So it was basically 5-man rotation, right? Because you had Ish barely play and Gordon Hayward got injured. And then in that game against the Bulls, pretty much the same thing, right? You saw 15 minutes from Ish off the bench. You saw 13 minutes from Richards. Well, Ish Smith is no longer in the team. And then the main 6 guys, Washington 34 minutes off the bench, Oubre 36 in the starting lineup, Rozier 39, LaMelo 38, Bridges 39, and Plumlee 27. So Pistons, we know, are not playing much defense. So I'm liking the overs on these Charlotte guys once again. Let's see. Over Horford, 6.5 rebounds, or over 17.5. Yeah, good question there with Horford. So, like, I don't mind we'll see on the Celtics, but if they do only have 8 available players, then, like, I think it's over 6.5 rebounds looks pretty good, right? Because there's no more Ennis Freedom. We'll probably play some backup 5. You got in January, you think the marketplace is open like September. Yeah, I doubt they wait too long. I agree. I don't think it's gonna be too much longer of a wait for the marketplace. Probably the second one there, Tommy. Pirtle, 32.5 fantasy points looks good. Yeah, and you get 3 points for blocks and steals, right? Remember, that's a big one for PrizePicks as opposed to Draftkings. For players that are, good shot blockers, you get 3 points there. Rozier has been so bad. Yeah, I mean, he goes on stretches, right? There's games where Rozier, I swear he's very up and down. There's almost no in between with him, right? There's like a 2-week stretch where he's averaging like 50 fantasy points a game, and there's a 2-week stretch where he completely defers offensively and averages like 25 fantasy points a game. Like, he is so up and down. Okay, so the Pacers, we got Halliburton at 35, Duarte 26, Goga 26. Again, there's just so many question marks with, who's going to be available for the Pacers. So, here's one. So, if you think Malcolm Brogdon is playing, if you think Brogdon plays, then I think that under and Halliburton looks pretty good, because do we think they start Brogdon and Halliburton together? I'm not sure what the Pacers will do. Like, maybe they do. Maybe they start Brogdon, Halliburton, Duarte, and then, Craig or Brissett and Goga. Maybe they do start that lineup. This game, again, is very appealing for DFS, right? Atlanta versus San Antonio. So here's one I think could shoot out, and you could pair those 2 overs together, because I think there's going to be 0 defense. As someone mentioned, Pirtle at 32.5 fantasy points. Feels like a pretty good bet, right? Again, you get the 3 points for blocks and steals, and obviously, again, Jakob Pirtle is one of those guys that's a good shot blocker. Now, we have Capella at 27. That's kind of interesting, because Capella, I mean, right now he's basically splitting minutes with Okongwu, and we're getting some John Collins at the 5. So we're seeing maybe 20 minutes from Capella a game. At most, he's played 25 over the last 2 weeks. So I think the under looks okay. The only downside with that, though, is, like I said, 3 points for blocks and steals. And obviously, Clint Capella is a really good shot blocker. But, yeah, those minutes have definitely been concerning on a guy like Capella. And, yeah, the Boston guys, so monitor the news here. Like I said, we don't know who exactly is going to be available. We don't know if they're calling up guys from the G League. But there's a chance Boston only has 8 available players today. So, if that's the case, these overs are going to look pretty good on the Boston guys, right? Pretty similar to the story of the Hornets, right? If Marcus Smart's playing 35 minutes today, I'm pretty that's going over 27 fantasy points, right? If we're getting 30 plus minutes from Horford, he's probably going over 24 fantasy points. So keep an eye on that Boston news to see who exactly is available. But again, there's a chance that they only have 8 available players, right? If you go over to Boston, so let's just talk about this, right? So Tatum's 1, Brown's 2, Williams is 3, Horford's 4, Smart's 5, right? That's their starting 5. Schroeder's traded away. Obviously, he's not playing. Pritchard's going to be available. That's 6. Williams is going to be available. Grant Williams, that's 7. Freedom's traded away. Richardson traded away. So Parker no longer in the team. It's Hauser and Broderick Thomas in the G League. So those are 2 guys that could possibly get called up. So that's why I said keep an eye on that. And then Naismith would be the 8th available player as it stands right now. So they might only have 8 available players if Derek White's not available and if these G League guys are not called up. So If we get confirmation that they only have 8 available players, I think the first 2 I like the over on would be Smart and Horford, because those 2 are at only 27 and 24. If they're playing like 30 plus minutes, again, I think it would probably be like 35 from Smart. Those are going to look really good. And then, okay, here's another situation. So, like I mentioned it with the Thunder and the 76ers of, potential that game blows out. Well, there's a potential that this Utah-Orlando game blows out. So you could theoretically take some unders here and pair them together. The only downside I will say with that, though, is we mentioned Utah, right? Quinn Snyder he's going to run their starters almost no matter what, right? They were playing like up 30 in the fourth quarter until like 4 minutes to go. So, Utah's one of the few teams that, like, if you try to take an under in a blowout, it might not work, just because, again, Snyder's just going to run their starters into the ground. But, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, guys. Do you have any other questions on anything else? First time playing COD. Can I go Tammy or Hydra? Tammy? Wait, who's Tammy? They signed Hauser and Cornette for the rest of the season. Yeah, but are they going to be, I saw that, are they going to for sure be available, though, for this game? Let's take a look at some of these Call of Duty kills. So, So here's one edge I will say with Call of Duty is you can watch like the pregame broadcast and see what the maps are going to be, because there's one map that is extremely small and one map where it's like, and this map Bocage, where it's just like a kill fest. So you can like keep an eye on these props and see if Bocage is in the map pool. And if it's not, you can take the under in these guys. And if it is, you can take the over. Like, I was talking about that in my Discord, but like, if that map is in the player pool, again, it's just going to be a kill fest. It's so small. So that's one edge that I think there is in Call of Duty. Again, we have these maps starting soon, so I'm not watching the pregame broadcast, but you can and see what the map pools are. And again, if it is in the map pool, you can take the over. If it isn't, probably like the under. So NBA Top Shot has said All-Star Standard Pack stress test has now concluded. Okay, all newly added moments will be locked until the complete full drops of All-Star Elite Standard Packs. Further details of these pack drops will be shared at a later time. Okay, so yeah, that was just a stress test. We don't know for sure when exactly the pack drop is for that one. Cammy Hydra. Yeah, so like Cammy's probably your safer bet because Toronto's pretty big favorites. New York is calling up they're calling up royalty, so they're gonna have a new player. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the dynamic is there. And then LaMelo versus Murray. I mean, it's pretty similar, right? I think both are gonna play big minutes. I like the matchup a lot for both. Why not both? No, but I will say, if you have no Hornets, you probably go LaMelo. If you already have one or two Hornets in your lineup, then I think you go a guy like DeJounte Murray. All right, guys. Anything else? Any other questions on anything? If not, I will let you guys go. Again, really appreciate everyone checking out the live stream today. I hope you guys do enjoy these streams where we cover a few different topics. If you guys are Top Shot, NFL Day, PrizePicks, DFS. So, got some pretty good reviews so far. So hoping to continue these in the future. Probably Kleenex, but I think both look pretty good for Call of Duty. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to call it on that. So, good luck if you're playing DFS today. Good luck in the NFL Day pack drop. Hope you guys get lucky and get a pack. And enjoy the rest of your Friday. And I will see you guys back here in the next one.